I think when people are in a relationship that's volatile like that, they're clinging on to something that isn't actually real. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Relationship Theory. I'm your co-host, Tom Bilyeu, and I am here with my mighty co-host and my amazing wife, Lisa Diana Bilyeu.
I just love doing these shows so I can see how you're going to introduce me. All right, on to the next question. This is from Anonymous. So my ex and I were together for over 3 years. Before we broke up, we were having a lot of arguments and he felt disconnected in our relationship. We never used to have arguments as often as we have been. It felt like he didn't want to work on us when things got difficult and decided to break up. I do love him a lot and would like to work things out, but we haven't spoken in a couple of weeks as we both decided to work on ourselves first because we aren't what we need to be. I've realized that in this time apart, I want to text or call him and just talk about everything. I've been very hesitant because I don't want to push him away even more, but I also feel like if we don't talk about the core things that were wrong, we will lose each other for good. Tom and Lisa, I was wondering what would be the best course of action to save my relationship and be with the man I love again. Thank you.
Well, I have maybe some, I don't know if it's counterintuitive, but I have some advice from my perspective. Here it goes. I think that taking the time to actually work on herself, to set that relationship aside and really do the work, not text, not call, get the space, go somewhere different, explore, try something new. And if after all of that, you come back and you're like, man, I really still want to be with this person, then at least you'll have shifted your perspective, you'll have cleared your head, you'll have looked at something else, focused on something else. And I don't mean a person, but like go on a photo safari to Africa, like something that just really shocks you out of your normal perspective and see if through all of that, you're like, yeah, that actually is what I want. Or if you're like, wow, once I got my head clear, like I can see now some of the toxicity in that relationship. So I think when people are in a relationship that's volatile like that, they're clinging on to something that isn't actually real. And so just hitting the reset button, clearing your head, focusing on other things, having something else be your primary like driver for a minute, then revisit. I think is the only way to realize if that really is the actual relationship you want to be in, or if you have like this mentality of I want to make it work, or if there's just like some level of obsession that's involved there, which isn't necessarily healthy.
I would say it's probably like the absence, right? So it's like the relationship got very volatile, they split up, and the absence, it does it. I don't understand the science behind it, but guaranteed it makes you miss them. You start thinking about the good times. You start to feel alone. Oh, remember that time we were cuddling on the sofa? Like that was amazing. And you forget all the shit that went along with it. So right now I think it is purely her chemicals that are saying, call him, text him, I want to be in touch with him. And I think, to be honest, and if I was her, this is how I think I would feel. I would worry that I would lose them. Like right now, because she's like the emotions are coming.
That's exactly why I think she should go do something else.
Right, I know, and I agree. But I think that's why it's like she's got in her head all the happy moments, the really special moments. She's playing those, the feelings she got when things were good. And now she's worried, shit, what if we wait too long? What if I've missed that opportunity? But I think you're 100% right, working on yourself. And it's not going to be easy. There are going to be moments that she's going to want to text him and call him. But just from even when we're in a relationship like me and you, when there are moments where my health is getting bad, and I start to feel the difference in my chemicals, feeling different, feeling like I'm getting moodier, feeling like I'm becoming more irritable, I know that I have to do the work myself. I have to work on my emotions. I have to work on getting myself balanced and my equilibrium balanced, I guess. I recognize that I have to do that before I can then come back and be in, have a happy marriage, because I recognize it is my emotions that's leading me somewhere. And so with her, I think, she, as much as she possibly can, being aware that right now her emotions are taking over her. And so how do you break out of that? I think getting out of the environment is a great one. Being around different people, doing different things, and really working on herself. Like, reflect back. why were those last moments in your relationship terrible? Why were they so versatile? Not versatile, volatile, thank you. And really assess like what was her part in it. And so what can she then change if this relationship is going to work? What does she need to change within herself to then bring that back into the relationship? Whether it's with this, her ex, or whether it's with somebody new.